Смотрите, давайте вот рингерс. Я никого не хочу обидеть, но это самые ненужные люди в единоборстве. Показывает, позавчера его избили, я не знаю, если так. Он дрался, с кем он дрался? Ну, с Петром же дрался.
Okay, so picture this. You're 65, retired, and don't know what to do with your life. Obviously, you're gonna try some crazy stuff. Now, picture you're 30 years younger than that and were once the pound-for-pound best fighter on the planet without a single loss on his record. If you had to retire from the sport you loved, but there's an irreplaceable adrenaline that rushes through you every time you step in the cage, you might do or say even crazier stuff in an attempt to replicate that rush.
6
I
October.
stay on bus.
6 October.
In the bus.
Khabib has found himself in this predicament and with the media spotlight on him has stirred the pot quite a lot since hanging up the gloves. Today here at Athlete Central, we're going to discuss Khabib's antics post-retirement, from disrespecting legends like Mike Tyson and Jose Aldo to being attacked by a ring boy. We've got the deets on the craziness, so without further ado, let's dive straight into it. As you all know, Dana White tried to move heaven and earth for Khabib to have one more fight before retiring, but the eagle didn't budge. And the UFC announced the official vacancy of the title on March 29th, 2021. That doesn't mean that Khabib has left fighting altogether. He is still a coach and corners his team members quite often.
That's all you want to do? You want to train now? You don't want to fight anymore?
About competition, yeah, I'm done.
He's actually 5-0 as a coach so far in 2021, helping his cousins Abubakar, Umar, and Usman to 1 victory each so far, and also guiding Islam Makhachev to 2 victories on his way to a top 5 status at 155. He also posted some stories on Instagram where he was coaching middleweight prospect Edmund Shabazian, who could definitely use his wrestling advice. Now let's move on to the first big controversy Khabib was involved in with none other than Chechen dictator Ramzan Kadyrov and UFC prospect Khamzat Chimaev. Now, Khabib shouldn't be blamed in any of this. His team was provoked by Kadyrov's comments, who claimed that his fighters over at ACA would smash him. Khamzat also chimed in saying, "We will tear him apart if he wants." Understandably, Khabib's team responded to him, calling him out on the hypocrisy. Here's Abubakar's response on Instagram. That's a very justified response, defending the honor of his team and brother. Kadyrov and Khamzat's comments were completely unprovoked, so Khabib's team is blameless in this situation, which can't be said for what's coming next, so stay tuned. Last month, Khabib went on the Hot Boxing podcast hosted by Mike Tyson and Triple C Henry Cejudo. This podcast generated a lot of topics for discussion as well as controversy. Khabib added fuel to the fire in his beef with Conor McGregor, belittling him for getting too drunk before making outlandish tweets, sobering up, then deleting them.
I think he posted this tweet like drunk too much or do something.
Yeah.
And the next day, I think, and he always delete his tweet. And I think when he become on normal life, and he say, "Oh, what I did," like, and he delete. This is my opinion. What he do, like, all the time.
What's up, everybody? Put my whiskey down. Notorious Irish whiskey.
Oh, that whiskey tastes so good.
Conor emulated Mike Tyson in his response tweet. This is light stuff considering their feud though, and the real outrage was caused when Khabib bashed on 55-year-old Iron Mike's physique, comparing him to 35-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo. He was quoted as saying, "I didn't like his look. I told him right away to get rid of all the things like smoke on the table. I didn't like being there. I liked more the way Cristiano Ronaldo looked. He looks like an athlete." It's pretty baffling that Khabib would compare an athlete still scoring 30 goals a season to Tyson, whose last professional win came back in 2003. I mean, come on, Khabib, cut the man some slack. He's still in better shape than 70% of teenagers, even at this age. Alright, so here comes an honesty check. Guys, does Mike Tyson have a better physique than you? Be real. Let us know in the comments below. We now move on to something rather bizarre and take a break from the drama. On August 14th, Nurmagomedov signed a deal with third-tier Russian side Legion Dynamo to become a professional footballer. That's right, at 32 years old, Khabib is trying his hand at a new sport. It would actually be pretty incredible if we found out that Khabib could be a quality, no-nonsense center back at a domestic level. But good luck to his opponents if they think for 1 second they can get away with diving against him. Okay, so let's get back into the controversy, with the Eagles' comments about Brazilian legend Jose Aldo doing the rounds all over MMA Twitter. In an interview, Khabib called Jose Aldo a businessman instead of a fighter, and when a journalist challenged him over the statement, suggesting Aldo was going through a second peak, this is how the Russian responded.
Показывает, позавчера его избили, я не знаю же как. Он дрался, с кем он дрался? Ну, с Петром же дрался. С Петром дрался, еще с кем
Полгода
он...
назад. Ну, в общем,
Ну, один бой выигрывает, люди начинают говорить, ну, это до поры до времени. Ну, вот что, Конор дрался же с ковбоем, выглядел как лев. Против нормальных выходит, выглядит как этот, я не знаю же, испуганная курица.
Well, that's pretty bad, isn't it? Obviously, fighters are going to have tough fights, and sometimes there is no choice but to cover up or risk taking unnecessary damage in a worse position. Never mind the fact that Petr Yan is arguably the best 135er on the planet, and there is no shame in losing to him. Pedro Munoz is a top contender, and Aldo looked phenomenal against him, proving that he is still top 5 caliber at bantamweight. Do you agree with the comments about Jose? Let us know in the comments below. Fans reacted to Khabib's statements with outrage, bashed him for only having a handful of top wins in his career compared to the long list of title defenses for the King of Rio. Even Aldo's own foe and arguably the catalyst for his downfall, Conor McGregor, defended him against Khabib's comments.
The beauty of the nervous system, that's it. Throughout his career, they were earmarked to fight each other. All throughout his career. And the little fool pulled out 3 times, then up there doing another press conference. What's he even doing? And more talking, is he? And then disrespecting Aldo? Little fool of a thing. I'm sick of these little fools mounting about people, yeah?
Nurmagomedov basically temporarily turned all neutral fans against him with his comments, and if that wasn't bad enough, a few days later he has made his most opinion-splitting comment yet.
Смотрите, давайте вот рингерс, я никого не хочу обидеть, но это самые ненужные люди в единоборстве.
The one thing he is right about is that people don't go to fights for the ring girls, but at the same time, people don't go to the movies specifically for popcorn or soda. They go to watch the movie. That doesn't mean that the theater shouldn't have popcorn or soda. Even with fighting, the gate for McGregor fights isn't sold out because of Alexa Camera versus Justin Ledette on the early prelims. It's sold out because of his star power. People go to watch the fights and the fighters, but ring girls are just part of the sport and its history. And just like ring girl Sarah Beverly said in a response to Khabib, the girls only ever enter a cage or ring during the interval, so they're not distracting from any fighting taking place. She also mentioned that the job opens doors for women, bringing boxer Ebony Bridges, who used to be a ring girl, as an example of someone who wouldn't have had the opportunity to become a boxer were it not for her gig as a ring girl. Multiple fighters have come to the defense of the ring girls, protecting their place in the sport and criticizing Khabib's standpoint, with a little bit of making fun of him as well.
Nobody goes for the ring girls. Nobody. Nobody goes for the ring girls. That's not how it works. And when he says the most useless people in martial arts, correct, they are. But they're not getting in the cage and fighting. They're a little bit of extra for the show. And I like it because it's historic in boxing and now with MMA, of course.
Nobody took this more personally than Elias Theodorou, though. After footage surfaced of Khabib's limping while surrounded by security, an article was written that alleged the Canadian was actually the one who attacked Khabib. Keep in mind that Theodorou is a ring boy for all-female fight promotion Invicta FC, an extremely rare job. There's two sides to this story because the website cites that Ali Abdelaziz, Khabib's manager, confirmed the story while Ali refutes that he's even spoken to him. Theodorou retweeted the articles with the caption, "But that may be just a publicity stunt as there appears to be no real evidence linking him to the attack. One thing that is for sure is that Khabib was limping and another man tried to attack him in the hallway. There's definitely some hidden shenanigans going on that we just don't know about. Why would a top-level athlete be randomly attacked? Do you believe Elias Theodorou was the one who attacked Khabib? Let us know in the comments below." Well guys, this ends our video about Khabib's post-retirement controversies. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel if you'd like to see more videos like this one. Let us know what videos you'd like to see next in the comments below. Until next time.